In this lecture, we will discuss how well-timed pauses, variations in speed, and a balanced rhythm can improve speech delivery and audience engagement. The way you control these elements influences how effectively your message is understood and retained. Whether delivering a formal speech, a business presentation, or casual storytelling, these techniques can enhance clarity and impact. Objectives of the lecture. In this lecture, you will learn how to use pauses effectively to emphasize key points, how pacing influences audience engagement, how rhythm improves speech clarity and flow, how to use pauses effectively to emphasize key points. Pauses in speech allow speakers to control the flow of information, emphasize ideas, and create moments for reflection. Strategic pauses improve clarity and make a message more impactful. Different types of pauses serve specific functions. Types of pauses. Dramatic pause. Builds anticipation before revealing important information. Reflective pause. Gives listeners time to absorb complex ideas. Structural pause. Separates different sections of a speech. Breath pause. Helps with vocal endurance and prevents rushed speech. Conversational pause. Mimics natural speaking patterns and enhances audience connection. Techniques for effective pauses. Pause before important information. Highlights key ideas. Vary the length of pauses. Avoids monotony by adjusting based on context. Practice with scripts. Mark pauses in written material to develop a natural rhythm. Avoid overuse. Too many pauses can disrupt speech flow and confuse listeners. Use pauses for engagement. Pause after asking a question to allow listeners time to process and respond. Pauses are particularly useful in public speaking, where they allow for greater audience interaction and comprehension. They give listeners a moment to reflect on what was said and prepare for what is coming next. How pacing influences audience engagement. Pacing refers to the speed of speech delivery. A balanced pace keeps an audience engaged, while speaking too quickly can overwhelm listeners, and speaking too slowly can lose their attention. Adjusting pacing for different scenarios. Faster pace. Works well for energetic presentations, storytelling, or exciting topics. It conveys enthusiasm and excitement, keeping the audience engaged. Slower pace. Effective for emphasizing key points, explaining complex ideas, or conveying seriousness. Slowing down allows for better comprehension. Balanced pace. A combination of both speeds helps maintain engagement and clarity. Alternating between fast and slow delivery prevents monotony and keeps the speech dynamic. Strategies for controlling pacing. Practice speaking at different speeds. Helps develop a natural rhythm. Use a metronome. Maintains steady pacing during practice. Monitor audience reactions. Adjust speed based on engagement. Record and analyze speech. Identifies areas where pacing adjustments are needed. Be mindful of breathing. Breath control helps maintain a steady pace and prevents running out of air mid-sentence. Use natural cadence. Mimic the flow of natural conversation for a more engaging delivery. Pacing is especially critical in long presentations, where maintaining a steady rhythm prevents listener fatigue. Experienced speakers often adjust their pacing based on audience reactions, ensuring that they remain engaged throughout the speech. How rhythm improves speech clarity and flow. Rhythm in speech refers to the natural pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables, sentence structure, and variation in tone. A well-structured rhythm makes it easier for listeners to follow along and retain information. Elements of speech rhythm. Sentence length variation. Prevents monotony by alternating short and long sentences. Emphasizing keywords. Keeps audience focus on important information. Using repetition for impact. Reinforces key ideas. Balancing vocal cadence. A mix of rising and falling tones makes speech more engaging. Matching rhythm to content. Different topics may require different rhythms. For example, an emotional story may have a slower, more deliberate rhythm, while an inspirational speech may have a more varied pace. Techniques for developing strong speech rhythm. Listen to skilled speakers. Observe how effective communicators use rhythm. Practice reading aloud. Helps develop a natural flow. Use intentional vocal variety. Adjust pitch, tone, and emphasis to avoid monotony. Break long sentences into smaller parts. Improves comprehension and delivery. Experiment with sentence stress. Highlighting specific words or syllables helps direct audience attention. Rhythm is an essential component of storytelling, speeches, and even everyday conversations. A strong sense of rhythm makes speech more natural, helping the speaker connect with the audience while reinforcing the intended message.